Put me down. She wiggled to get down. Why don't wiggle or else you will fall. He held her firmly. I said put me down. She again wiggled. If you don't stop moving now, then I'm gonna drop you on floor. She stopped wiggling and bowed. A chuckle left his mouth after seeing her cute expression, and he went towards her bedroom. He laid her on bed and sighed loudly. It's hard to handle her drunk wine. She blinked. He started moving away, but she wrapped her hand around his neck and pulled him on her. Taehyung's eyes widened and heart skipped a beat. What are you? Don't go, please. She spoke in tiny. He blinked and looked at her face. She was drifting to her sleep. She hugged him and snuggled her in his chest. Taehyung felt his heartbeat racing. He inhaled deeply and laid beside her and pulled blanket on their body. Good night, he whispered and placed a kiss on her head. Wine woke up and groaned in pain. She felt sharp pain in her head. It's what's wrong with my head. She squeezed her eyes tightly and sat on bed. She pressed her head and ran her hand on bed to grab her phone, and she felt someone's body. A shiver ran in her body and her eyes widened. She gulped her saliva and looked at her right side, and her eyes popped up. Taehyung, see? Why he's sleeping here? She tried to recall things, and she remembered drinking on dinner, and she couldn't remember what happened afterwards when I came here. She immediately checked her clothes and she was fully dressed. She felt relief and she shook Taehyung. Taehyung, wake up. He woke up while groaning and he looked at her. Why are you sleeping here? He stared at her for a while without saying anything. Taehyung, don't you remember why I'm sleeping here with you? She gulped and shook her head and he sighed loudly. Means you don't remember what you did with me last night. When bite her lower lip in nervousness and her gaze fall on Taehyung's lip. It has bruised. What I did? Ask yourself. You took advantage of me. He spoke in barely audible tone and Wine's breath heated. What? He nodded his head and he was having a sad expression on his face. One's hand went on her mouth in shock and she tried to recall things. Her heart shook and she felt a guilt and embarrassment taking over her. Did I? I can't even say how many things you did with me. He spoke in sad tone. She gulped and her tears rolled down from her eyes. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened by me. Please don't hate me. Please, I'm sorry. What? Hey, Wine. He immediately sat on bed and tried to hold her hand, but she moved away from him and her tears were falling non-stop. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, Wine, listen. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. I don't know. I'm sorry. She blabbered things and then cursed himself for joking. Well, listen. You did nothing. Nothing happened between us. She didn't listen what he said. Sorry, I'm really bad person. She covered her face and cried, Wine! He grabbed her hand and pulled away from her face while pushing her down on bed. He pinned her on bed. Nothing happened between us. Did you hear? Nothing happened. She blinked and gulped while gazing his lip. But you said, I was just kidding. I just joked, okay? She blinked and sniffed. She felt a wave of relief. Why, you get sad immediately, huh? She pressed her lips together and looked at his lip. It has multiple bruises. Then your lip? A smirk appeared on his face and he dropped his body on her and she felt butterflies on her stomach. My lip? What my lip? She blinked and gulped. Wanna know what happened to my lip? He whispered in his deep husky voice and brushed his lips in her lip. She gulped in nervousness and closed her eyes tightly, and Taehyung pulled blanket till their heads. Both the heartbeat was very fast and audible. Wine woke up and stretched her arms. She got flashback of whatever happened few hours ago. Her cheeks started heating and she turned left side and she got settled. She blinked while creeping blanket near her chest. Did you sleep well? He slid his hand around her waist and she felt shiver running in her body when his hand brushed against her bare waist. He pulled her close. Yeah, she was feeling shy and nervous. She avoided his gaze. Taehyung chuckled and ran his hand in her hair. I love you. She looked at him in a bit surprised. You what? I love you. Is it also a joke? Please don't do this kind of joke. I know you hate me. He stared her. There was a pain in her face. I don't hate you. You have reminded me about your hate for me many times. She turned other side as her tears were ready to fall and she didn't want to let him see it. He sighed and hugged her tightly while snuggling his face in her neck. Tae, I'm sorry, one bite her lower lip. I know I have behaved like jerk with you and my sorry is not enough for my reckless behaviors. He paused for a while to get a response from her, but she didn't say anything. It was hard for me to accept this relationship. You are my student plus you are very younger than me. I never even imagined I can end up with someone like you. I was against of this marriage, but your dad put pressure on my parents and I unwillingly marry you. And my madness started coming out on you as I thought you thought my dad forced you to fulfill my wish. He remained silent and it was true. He thought one's dad put pressure on his parents to fulfill one's wish. She sighed when she didn't get any response from him. I'm sorry for whatever you faced. You can divorce me. His hand made fist on her bare stomach. I want to give us a chance. Why? He moved away from her and turned her around. He held her hand and put in his chest. Can you feel it? She gulped. His heart was thumping loudly just like her. Taehyung inhaled deeply and tugged her hair. Can we forget past things and do a new beginning? She stared at him. There was sincerity in his eyes and her heart skipped a beat. I love you. She snuggled her face in his chest and hugged him tightly. He smiled and wrapped his hand around her securely. Taehyung, put me down. Mrs. Choi would see us. He chuckled. So, I'm lifting my own wife, not someone else. She blinked and he chuckled more. Don't worry, we are alone in house so we can do anything anywhere. He smiled playfully. Her cheeks started getting red and she looked away. Taehyung brought her in kitchen and made her sit on counter. What would you like to eat, Mrs. Kim? Pasta. Okay, let me cook it for us. Will you? Do you have doubt? He raised her eyebrow and she nodded her head slightly while pouting. Taehyung scoffed. Oh baby, don't. Okay? You don't know there is nothing which your husband can't do. He said with a sassy look and grabbed an onion. He toasted it in savage but couldn't catch that and his expression fall. What? She burst in laughter. Yeah, don't laugh. She continued laughing and he stared at her. It was first time when he saw her laughing. When saw him staring, she stopped laughing and looked away while clearing her throat. I'll help you. She jumped from counter. Bye. She started going out of car but he grabbed her hand. What happened? He leaned towards her and picked her cheek. Her face flushed. Take care. Yeah. He left her hand. She took a glance of him and went out of car. Then inhaled deeply. He drops wine on a little distance from college. When was going towards her classroom when Yuna came in front of her, went bite her lower lip and tried to walk from side, but Yuna's hands blocked her way. What? Huh? Give me way. Yuna gazed her head to toe. You're looking different today, aren't you? She moved to touch Wine's face and Wine moved back. I'm getting late. She tried to leave from there as soon as possible, as she didn't want to get right now, but Yuna grabbed her hand. Leave my hand. Yuna smiled, but her smile faded amid. She heard Taehyung's throat-clearing sound. She immediately left Wine's hand. He was coming in their direction. Yuna's friends immediately started leaving from there. Good morning, Professor. She spoke while tugging her hair and Wine stared at her. Morning. What you both are doing here? We were just chatting, right, Wine? Wine didn't say anything. Go in classroom. Yeah, she bowed and headed towards classroom. Professor, can you help me in studies during lunchtime? I'm weak in your subject. Wine heard that and her pace slowed while her hand clutched on her backstrap. Yuna has crush on Taehyung and whole college know about it. Yuna even calls if she see anyone even staring Taehyung. That's not possible. Go in class now. Yuna bowed while Taehyung didn't even give her much attention and went to her staff room. One smiled after hearing that and she went towards her classroom. Why he's so boring? But he's cute, hot, handsome, and he's going to be mine. She chuckled on her own thoughts. When looked towards cafeteria's door and saw Taehyung coming with his lunch, she inhaled and started eating. He came inside and sat on an empty table and started eating. Now he every day eats in cafeteria for Wine's protection. Till now, he didn't tell her that he read her diary, and he doesn't even have plans of telling. He doesn't want to embarrass her or make her feel uncomfortable by telling her that he read her personal diary and he got to know a lot of things about her sad life. And that's the reason he couldn't take action against her yet. Taehyung stopped car and Wine sat inside. How was your day? Good. Do you want to eat something before going home? She nodded her head while a pout formed on her face without her knowledge. What? Ice cream. He chuckled and nodded. Okay, let's go to eat ice cream. Taehyung. She took his name in excitement while getting in a car. You're looking happy. What's the matter? She grinned and extended her test paper towards him. He took that and smiled. 49 out of 50. I'm proud of you. He ruffled her hair and she smiled while inhaling deeply. It's because of you. Thank you. She stared at him with a lot of emotion in her eyes and he smiled. No, it is because of your hard work. She shook her head. It is because of your patience and hard work. Thank you for teaching me calmly. He sighed while staring at her. What? That's for you. He pointed on back seat. She looked on back seat and saw a small paper bag. She grabbed that. What is this? She looked inside. Chocolates and flowers. Why? For doing good in test. Were you knowing I will get good marks? He shook his head. That's not for good marks. That's for giving your 100% in test. Even if you would get 10 marks in test, still I would happy for your attempt. She stared at him and her smile disappeared. She always listened bad things for her bad marks, and it was first time when someone didn't talk about her marks. What happened? Why are you staring me like that? She shook her head and moved towards him and got on his lap. He chuckled. What happened? She hugged him and snuggled her face in crook of his neck. Thank you for everything. Don't thank me for anything. I'm your life partner and it's my duty to do everything for you. He kissed her back and placed a kiss on her head. Taehyung checked his phone to see Wan's message, but he didn't receive any message from her. He sighed and impatiently waited for meeting to get over. Meeting got over. Taehyung came out of meeting room and dialed Wan's number. Call got connected, but she didn't answer. Where is she? He again dialed her number, but again she didn't answer. He sighed. She must fall asleep. He checked time and headed out of college building. Please open this door. Words came out of her mouth in whispered and she slid on floor. She got tired by banging on door, but no one. Please open this door. Taehyung. Is one sleeping? She didn't come yet. What? She nodded her head and Taehyung pressed his lips together. Worries started taking over him now. He immediately dialed her number and headed out of house. Why this girl is not answering? He again dialed her number, but there was no response. Where are you, Wine? He pushed his hair in frustration and got in car. He texted her and started car's engine. Wine laid on floor and hugged her knees, and her tears were rolling from corner of her eyes. She was scared and hopeless. Taehyung, where are you? Please come to me. Did every student leave college? Yes. Did you check properly? Yes, we checked everywhere. All students left. Taehyung pushed his hair back in frustration. Is there any problem? Open gate. Guard nodded and opened door. Taehyung went inside while dialing Wan's number, and there was no response from her side. He checked every corner of college, but he couldn't find her. Where I'll find her now? He knows Wan's relation with her parents is not good, so there is no way she will go to her parents' house, but still, he called her dad to know if she is there, and she wasn't there too. Sun was setting down and darkness was filling in surroundings, and his fear was increasing with the time. Not even here. He wiped his sweat. He checked all cafe and restaurant which was nearby college, but she was nowhere. He checked all nearby mall and shop, but she was nowhere. He sat on the roadside and dialed her number once again, and like before, he didn't get any response. He checked his text and it was unseen. He gulped down his saliva and called on home number Y, hoping maybe she came home, but she didn't come. He bit his lower lip and hung up the call. Where are you, Wine? He rubbed his face. It was already midnight and his hand and leg was shaking in panic. What if something wrong happened with her? Wine! He shouted and his voice echoed in empty college. His heart was telling him to check college again, and he came back here. Wine! His voice was echoing, but there was no response. Where is she? He cursed loudly and sat on floor in corridor. He was tired and now hopeless too. He was searching her from hours. Wine got fainted due to fear. Taehyung heard student's voice. He rubbed his face and got up from floor. It was college time and students started coming. He again dialed Wan's number and like before, there was no response. He sighed loudly while rubbing his face. I should file complaint. He headed out. Are you sure she must be in that room till now? Of course, who would go in that abandoned room to find her? She laughed. Taehyung's feet stopped after hearing that, and he turned towards Yuna while his face clenched. But what if she complains about us? Before her, we will tell principal about her relationship with Mr. Kim. I've seen her getting in his car and I've took their big Professor Kim. Where is Wine? He was looking mad. I don't know. I said, where is Wine? He shouted and everyone flinched there. Taehyung has a cold person image in college, but he doesn't get mad easily. He stays calm all the time, and that's why seeing him mad like that scared everyone. I really don't. Just say where is she, or else you all will get in problem. Yunon's friends gulp and exchange glances. She is in that old abandoned classroom. I didn't do anything with her. Please don't complain about. Taehyung didn't listen her further and ran towards that classroom, and one by one other students too went behind him to see what happened. What you did, huh? I got scared. If my dad got complained, then he would give me. You know what we will do now. Yuna rubbed her temple. Taehyung opened door and came inside that room, and his heart clenched after seeing Wine lying on cold floor. He gulped his saliva and immediately rushed to her, and that classroom started filling by students. Hey, Wine, he sat beside her and shook her. She didn't open her eyes and his heart shook. Wine, he took her in his arm and hugged her tightly while placing kisses on her head. Hey, wake up. Words came out of his mouth in whisper, and he lifted her in his arm and headed out of that classroom. Students gave him way while they started whispering about Wine and Taehyung. Taehyung laid Wine on bed and covered her from blanket. Mrs. Choi, how much time doctor will take? She's coming. He splashed water on her face and tapped on her cheek. Hey, Wine, wake up, please. He shook her and splashed more water on her face and tapped on her cheek, and she slowly opened her eyes. He sighed in relief and hugged her. Thank God. She got fainted due to fear. I gave her some medicine and she's fine now. Thank you, doctor. I should leave now. Yeah, doctor headed out of his house and he inhaled deeply. I'll go to her. Taehyung didn't say anything and she went upstairs. He sat and thought to get fresh. How are you feeling now? Better. She took a glance of her father who was standing with cold face. What happened in college? My classmate locked me in abandoned classroom. And why? Did you fight with them? Wine shook her head. They got suspicious about Taehyung and me, and that's why they... My dad sat while staring. Wine gulped and looked down. Then you should have been careful. See what you did. You pushed Taehyung's job too in danger. When will you stop being trouble for others? Wine bit her lower lip and closed her eyes tightly. I'm sorry. What sorry? Huh? First we and now Taehyung too. Will you ever be a bit responsible in life? Huh? Will you stop? Taehyung came inside the room and Wine dad stopped speaking. Wine looked at Taehyung and saw him looking mad, and her heart shook. Will he too scold me or shout on me? She thought and looked down while biting her lower lip. Taehyung, I'm sorry for her behaviors. She always bothers other. Mr. Man, can we talk later? I want to have some talk with Wine in alone. His tone was cold and Wine gulped. Okay. He looked at Wine mom and she got up from bed and headed out of bedroom. And don't worry about your job. I won't let anything happen to you. Taehyung hummed. Wine dad took a glance of Wine and went out. Taehyung inhaled deeply and went towards bed, and Wine's feet clenched. He sat beside her and she slid away. I'm sorry I brought problems for you. Hey, Wine. He touched her and she flinched. She was scared and she was having panic attack. Taehyung noticed her hands shaking. He bit his lower lip and pulled her close. Taehyung, words weren't forming in her throat. Calm down. He pulled her in his embrace. I don't know. Don't talk. He kissed her back. Are you mad on me? Why? His tone was soft and calm. She tilted her Had to look at his face and she didn't see any madness on his face. He smiled and picked her nose. Are you okay? Did they hurt you too much? Huh? She blinked. She didn't think he will react in that way. She thought he is going to burst on her just like her parents. But no, he was calm. You're really not mad? No, Pablo. Now stop talking and rest. He pushed her head on her chest and leaned on headboard. And she started getting relaxed. His beautiful heart-beating sound was soothing her. Wine, Did your dad say too much things a while ago? Wine bit her lower lip and tilted her head again to look at his face. She shook her head. Don't lie to me. Tell me everything. He really didn't say much things as you came. She mumbled, but it was loud enough for him to hear. He sighed and hugged her tightly. He didn't ask her further things as he didn't want to force her to share something which she doesn't want. Don't hide anything from me ever, okay? She remained silent, but after some time she spoke. Taehyung, my parents didn't force you to marry me for my happiness. They forced you to get rid of me. In whole university, you were only one who was calm with me, who used to not get mad by my slow understanding, and when my dad saw that, he thought it's his chance to get rid of me. She mumbled, Wine has learning disability, and because of that one thing, her life became hell. In childhood, she used to get less mark, and her parents used to get mad on her, and even her, and it brought mental trauma for her. And due to her toxic environment, her learning disability never decreased, and she spent her school life by getting very less mark. Her parents never tried to understand her and got very mean with her, and it caused Wine's depression. She was never any teacher's favorite, and most of the teachers used to insult her for her slow understanding and bad performance, but it changed after coming in college when she met Taehyung. He was different. He used to make sure she understood everything, and he was very calm with her. She started getting good in his subject, and when her dad got to know about it, he thought to get Wine married with him so she can stay with him all the time and she get better in studies. He was only thinking about her good marks, but Taehyung was not ready to marry his student. It was against of his morals, but Wine's dad pressurized his parents and they forced Taehyung to marry Wine. Wine's dad is very rich, and Taehyung thought Wine is spoiled daughter of a rich parents, and her parents forced him to marry her to fulfill her wish, and that's why he started hating her, and his soft and calm behavior for her changed. I never wanted to marry you, trust me. He cuffed her cheek and picked her lip. Let's not talk about past. She didn't say anything and snuggled her face in his chest. I love you, he mumbled and placed kisses on her head. Taehyung. They got know about us in college, what we will do now. Don't think about that, I'll take care of everything, but when you rest now. She tilted her head and looked at him. Principal will get mad on you. He pressed his lips on her and she blinked. Don't think about anything now, he mumbled between kisses, and she closed her eyes.